Hello and welcome back to my channel. And today I'm here to share, as many of you know, I'm a member of the Secret Not Secret Kit Club, and every month we have a Scrappy Party, a full 3-day, basically it's an online crop with 25 or more challenges. We often negotiate a little warm-up challenge on the Thursday evening. It generally lasts Friday, Saturday, Sunday. But then we also have a full week to complete the challenges. There's lots of support, banter, prizes. It's just really a fun, full, scrappy weekend. And if I'm having a month where I'm working a lot or I don't have time to do much, I sort of book those days and I get the bulk of my monthly scrapping done during those parties. And that was the case in July. Because, as you know, I had my little working marathon there that lasted until almost the 20th. But now we are in early August. I am on holiday. My first day of holiday was August the 1st. Went out of town for 4 or 5 days. Now I'm back. I'm going to be catching up. So there was no TN Tuesday this week. I'm sorry. Hopefully it'll be up on Thursday. This might go up on Thursday. This might go up on Wednesday. I'm recording it on Tuesday morning. So without further ado, what did I get done during the party? So this is one of the first layouts that I got done, and it was for a challenge called Mixed Media Mania. And what Christina challenged us to do here was based on a video and a technique that Jennifer McGuire uses on cards, and it was basically stencil and texture paste and watercolors. So I did an 8.5 by 11 and did my background with this. Oh, I'm so sorry, there are trucks going by. It would appear it's recycling morning. And all my windows are open before it gets too hot. So I went on my background here and I used a Tim Holtz, maybe you can see it if I put it a little bit closer, the Tim Holtz sort of little dot stencil. I love that one. It's so versatile. With some white texture paste all over the page. And then I went in and I actually used a Shimmers paint. I used a Shimmers paint here and a little bit of mist and water to get my background done. And I really love the way this looks, because here's a picture of me many moons ago in a pool, and that sort of looks a little bit like water on the outside. And this is the same day a little bit later. This was a barbecue when I used to work in the aircraft industry. My team, we would have an annual end of summer barbecue, and this is what that is. So this will go in my early years. I managed to still 2 words out of that lovely Fitzgerald. I think this, I played around with a 5 and sort of shaped it and cut a little bit off to turn it into an S. The U's and N's are interchangeable, so luckily that means I had quite a few of those. I used 2 doilies on here and overlapping the photo because I sort of still wanted a little bit of that central design. These are our portrait photos, fairly long, although they are not 4 by 6. I did crop them down. They're probably 3 by 5. I cropped down some extraneous just scenery here in the back and darkness here in the back of this one. So 2 doilies. These are not mounted on foam tape because I found there was a little bit of interest in texture there, so I just left it. I did use here this, I think, paper. Now you see, I should have put this in my How to Kill a Kit, because this paper and these stickers here are all from my How to Kill a Kit with Style from July. So you see, I did get 1 more done. These are from Paige Evans. I think this one might have been from Whimsical, so then maybe it wasn't in my kit. A couple of little hearts. And then I went here and I got just to bring out a little bit of the red that I had here and have it come out a little bit from the layout. I used some lovely sequins from Spiegel Mom Scraps, and the title is just Sun and Fun. Very, very, very simple. So that was the first challenge I got done. There is a video for this one, and I will link it below, so I won't spend too much time on this. But this was a super themed. This was the Thursday night warm-up challenge issued to us by Helen Carey Kari, and it was to scrap with themed supplies, but make it even super themed. So I was scrapping for Christmas in July, and you can go see there's a full playlist for this series that I did, the Christmas in July YouTube Pop, with my friends that had been organized by Becky. And I was scrapping a tree, so I went with Christmas supplies, obviously, and super themed it by using trees. So there is a video for that one. This was for Christy's challenge. Christy's challenges are always fun. They always challenge me. We had to pick a number from 1 to 5. And then later on, she did a quick little video and told us what each of those numbers corresponded to regarding titles. And mine, I had picked number 3, and it was no title. So this page basically has no title. And here I also used a sketch that was in the group by Miranda Weber, which was a lovely sketch that I think Amy had also used in her Facebook Live. So I got that out, and the premise of the sketch were some lovely paper layers here, some longer strips here to give a little bit of interest. In her sketch, the title runs along here, but I have no title, and the overlapped photos. And this I really, really liked because they overlap, but just a little bit, just enough to give a little bit of offset interest and have a little place here for a cluster, but not too much and not too many wonky angles. So this I was working with my Whimsical kit, but I used some colored cardstock as the background. I inked all my edges in a navy. I think it is Midnight Muse from Stampin' Up. My 2 photos, this is in Budapest. Then I used some scraps here. I had some scraps on my desk from a previous layout, so I just used those here for these 2 strips of paper. And this one is cut somewhere around here, and this is just 2 little bits peeking out. Some puffy stickers, also from Whimsical, so I did 3 little clusters. This here, where the papers were coming out, was a perfect spot, and therefore I just went with my little triangle, because this is sort of the first cluster that I did, and it pretty much dictated the 2 other clusters. And then I put a doily here because I think there was a doily, or there was a circle or circular element anyway in Miranda's sketch. So I put a doily, and I did my journaling on here, which is one of the most beautiful buildings in Europe. The Parliament is the largest building in Hungary. It opened in 1902 on the shores of the Danube on the Pest side of Budapest. And I was staying at that point on the Pest side of Budapest. So that was Christy's lovely challenge. And then one of my other favorite challenges this weekend was Sarah's. And Sarah's fairy tale challenge, it's always based on a fairy tale, on a story, and this was Jack in the Beanstalk. So we had to use one very, very, very large element and one very tiny, tiny, tiny element. So I did an 8.5 by 11 page here, and my very, very large element is this stencil on the back, sort of the dandelion, you know, when it turns into the white fluff ball and you blow on it. So that's the stencil that I use, and I just love it. And dandelions and pumpkin mean youth and joy. So this is a photo of me in 1957 at just a couple, excuse me, oh, excuse me, just a couple of weeks old. It may have been my baptism, although I think I look a little bit more than 10 days here, so it could have been maybe early December, so I might have, but I don't look a couple of months either. So I don't know, but somewhere October, November of 1957, I'm being held here by my grandmother. So that large area, and that sort of dictated where the photo would go, because then it just is sort of the stalks, the stalks here, the branches of the dandelion. So I did a lot of layering on this one with some whimsical paper and some leftover maybe Vicki Boutin paper that I had on my desk as well. Just did some layering. Did not put the photo on foam dots, but I did put some of the embellishing. And often what I do when I have a large focal point like this and just a sort of central-ish, or this is more my 1/3 photo with a lot of layers, is I just basically do 2 clusters on the diagonal on the corners of the photos, particularly when there are areas on the photos that aren't of any kind of importance to the story or the photo. So this here, some die cuts from the Whimsical collection, this very, very large die cut, this die cut and this die cut, which I put on foam dots, a couple of puffy stickers, and this is where I got into the little tiny, I went into the Whimsical tiny little puffy stickers, got some butterflies, these little tiny flowers, stars and hearts, and this little tiny bird who I think is just gorgeous, peeking out from the flowers. So, and my title here is just Joy, because that's what dandelions mean. A little tiny baby, what could be more joyful than that? So that was Sarah's challenge. This one also I won't spend too much time on. This was the Grab 5 challenge. There is a video for this in the Christmas in July YouTube Hop series. And the Grab 5 items were die cuts, washi, 6x6 paper, something sparkly, and oh my, I forget what the other one was. Oh well, I'll link that video below or go over to the playlist and you'll find out what the 5th item, oh, colored cardstock, I think. Maybe not, I'm not quite sure. So there is a video for this one. And then this is more of a bonus, Leia. I did it that weekend. There is also a video for this one. It was for Crystal's awesome Off the Board with Pineapple Papers. And this is using the Vicki Boutin Kaleidoscope. It is in Brasov, and this is Brancaster, the Inner Courtyard at Brancaster in 2006. You can go over and see that video. And then last but not least, there is also a video for this. In fact, this is last week's TN, Traveler's Notebook Tuesday, and the challenge for this was first impressions. And we were scrapping about a first, my first ballet recital, all doing something totally different, which in turn brought some memories up of another sort of concert recital type thing that we did in grade 4. And I will try and link that video as well. Otherwise, all of them are in playlists. They are on my channel. You can just pop on over to the Christmas in July YouTube Hop playlist, my TN Tuesday playlist, and I will definitely link to Crystal's challenge. So there you go. We will be getting back to some regularly scheduled videos, as I'm going to be scrapping away this week, watching some tennis and having fun. Thank you as always. If you have a favorite here, let me know what that might be, why it's your favorite, or if any of these layouts brought some memories back to you. Tell me what memories they are, and are you going to scrap them? Talk to you soon. Thanks for being here. Bye.